Shout out to Kenya Moore Hair Care. I used her products today when I washed my hair, and I actually also used some Olaplex, as you can see. Um, Welcome, bows and bow ties. This isn't going to be long. Thanks for joining in. Um, yeah, so look, I just have a few things to say, and I'm going to hop off. I'm supposed to be working on some cricket shirts with a neighbor friend of mine for New Year's Eve, and we need to finish the job. And it's 4:33. I was supposed to be there at 4:30. I told her I was going to be a little late, so that means I need to get this done in a handful of minutes. I just want to say this. This is the thumbnail you selected to get in here. Stop talking about this. Now, you probably think you know what I'm going to say. You don't. So, look, I just noticed that we've done this a lot. Okay. Now, I want you to listen to me. Whenever we don't like someone, I'm talking about the blackity black blacks. Okay. This is for all my blackity black blacks. Whenever we don't like someone, one of the things that we like to do is weaponize one of these things. There's four things I'm going to talk about. Number one, we like to weaponize sexuality. As soon as someone does something we don't like, now this is primarily for the men. I notice that whenever a man does something or says something that is not agreed with, the first thing we do is attack his sexuality. That needs to stop. Because whatever the conversation is about, if it's about something political, if it's about something financial, etc., we need to stop attacking sexuality unless it's actually germane to the actual topic at hand or whatever the situation is. So if we just don't like somebody, we don't need to attack anybody's sexuality. Done. I'm going to move on to the next thing. I see this a lot, and I think you'll see that the next point I'm talking about is primarily centered around politics, right? Whenever we don't agree with somebody's particular politic, especially in the black community, we like to attack someone's blackness. We do it a lot. Now, that doesn't mean the content of someone expressing their opinion doesn't necessarily mean it's wrong, but we wield it as an attack. For example, oftentimes people like to attack former President Barack Obama's blackness. So if you don't agree with his politics, well, it's because he's not really black. That's the sentiment that I'm getting. Same thing with Kamala Harris. We attack the blackness. Now, I actually understand where people are coming from when they say this person is not black, this person is biracial. For the longest time, I used to just say, well, if they have a black parent, they're black. But actually, I'm only partially right. I will give that to people. You know what? You learn and you grow on this app, right? They are actually biracial. So yes, I agree with that. I just feel like we want to go for attacking someone's blackness, though. We want to use it as a weapon. When we agree, you're black. When you disagree, you're not really black. So we have to stop this picking and choosing thing. It's just, we just have so much division. So if someone is biracial, then maybe we should just say, well, they're biracial and that's okay. But I just hate that, whenever someone likes something, like if you like, for example, people who really enjoy Meghan Markle, she's black. For those who don't really care for her, she's biracial. Now, as I have gone along and, I learned things too. And I do believe now that when we're dealing with people who have parents of different racial backgrounds, I think we should just acknowledge them for being both. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I just feel like the way we're doing it in the black community, we're using it as a weapon. We've got to get away from some of that kind of stuff. I mean, so I don't know. I just feel like if you don't like somebody's politic, then just go in on the politic. You don't have to go in on the racial makeup. Okay. So, and don't get me wrong. It's different if someone comes out and says, I identify as biracial, or if they say I identify as black or whatever like that. Like I just feel like I I struggle with gatekeeping someone's racial identity or blackness. I struggle with that. Okay. So I don't want to engage in this type of behavior. I think in 2023, we got to get away from attacking people based off of their racial background. I'm just mostly speaking to the blackity black blacks. I just find that it's becoming problematic. We either need to come to some common ground, just say, hey, look, just say, okay, this person is biracial. And that's what it is. But at the end of the day, we're in this identity era. And you've got men identifying as women. We've got women identifying as nothing and everything or binary. You've got biracials who identify as black. Sometimes they identify as white. I don't know. I feel like it's really a slippery slope telling people how they should identify at this point. I may not agree with some things, but at the end of the day, this is the path that we've gone down since we started opening up any and everything. We just have to stop using blackness as a tool or weapon. All right. So if somebody's biracial and they want to be considered black, I don't know if I can gatekeep that. I just don't want. And look, other cultures do gatekeep racial identity. I get that. Okay. I think that our identity here in the United States is so complex. Well, Black Americans. I'm not talking about those who come from the continent or others in the diaspora, like the Caribbean or the UK or Europe, whatever. I'm talking about Black Americans with a lineage of people who were enslaved individuals here. Okay, um, it's just layered. It's it's layered. Okay, so but we got to stop doing that. The next one is really it's like it's like a two for one. I find that whenever we don't agree with somebody, we attack someone's femininity or masculinity. So, for example, if you don't agree with some of the things that I'm saying, the first thing someone is going to want to do is attack my femininity. Now, I don't really actually um play into a lot of stuff. I just really just ignore a lot of people, to be honest, because I'm like, I know certain things. We attack, someone's looks. And I'm not saying I've never done it. What I'm saying is if we don't agree with a man, then, we attack his masculinity. I think with men, we attack masculinity and sexuality. With women, we attack femininity for sure. And then I would say on a much more macro scale, we're now attacking everyone's blackness. We're using blackness as a weapon. So, like I said, throughout these last few years, I feel like I have learned something because I can learn from many people. And I will say, in my opinion, I think we should now refer to people who have parents who are of different racial backgrounds or mixtures, then we should consider them to be biracial or multiracial. And that should not be used as a slur or as a bad thing. But like I said, if someone is biracial and they choose to identify as black, I don't think I'm in a position where I can say, you can't be identified as black. You can't be identified as black. This is the world that we live in, especially here in the United States with our Western ideals. Now that we've opened up this identity politic, now we have to, although I don't agree with it, but we have to be respectful. If people decide that they want to identify, you know, look, I may decide I'm going to identify as a white woman, and you can't tell me that I can't. You cannot. Okay. You can't say, oh, because your phenotype is not white. I'm like, I identify. I identify. So, anyway, I just feel in 2023, we have to stop using and doing these things. We have to stop talking about certain things or we have to stop wielding certain things as a weapon, is all I'm getting at. We need to stop attacking femininity, masculinity, blackness, and sexuality. That's what we do now when we don't agree with someone or if we feel backed into a corner. That's how we're going after people now. You don't like a dude? Call him gay. Can I say gay? I don't know if I can say gay. But if you don't like him, just attack his sexuality. It very well may or may not be true, but now we're using it as a weapon along with the blackness thing. So that's it. Look, you know what time it is. So if you thought that was interesting, then go ahead. Let me know. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know if you want me to talk about something else in relation to it. Let me know if you're like, I don't know if I don't agree. And that's okay too. I don't care about people disagreeing. I just care when you're disrespectful. People disagree with me all the time. I just say, don't be disrespectful. Give me your thoughts. All right. I got to go make some shirts. Y'all gonna stop talking about me. And yes, I know my hair is extra. It's big. I'm trying to decide if I'm gonna like braid it up or do something or really put a strong flat iron to this situation. But shout out to Kenya Moore Hair Care and Olaplex.